Welcome back to our channel. My name is Allison, and if you're new here, my husband Zach and I are focused on becoming a fully homemade home in 2024. We've had a lot of fun learning new things that we can make ourselves in our home. I'm currently working on shaping our homemade sourdough ciabatta bread. We make this often because it is so easy to do, and I will leave a link to the recipe in the description below if you want to make it too. For dinner tonight, we are having meatball subs. I feel like most people have their go-to dish that people always request them to make, and for me, it is meatballs. It always surprises me because I tend to just throw things together and hope for the best. This was the first time I made my own breadcrumbs for my meatballs. I used a sourdough bread loaf I made a few days prior, and then I added olive oil, garlic, onion powder, Italian seasoning, and some salt. And then I baked it in a 400-degree oven for about 20 minutes, and I checked it often just to make sure it didn't burn. But once everything was nice and crispy, I went ahead and took it out of the oven. It was nap time in our house, so I used my potato masher and then I finished it off with my rolling pin. But if it wasn't nap time, I definitely would have just used my blender and it would have been finished in like 10 seconds. The most important step to making my meatballs is simmering your meatballs in tomato sauce. Now you can totally buy the pre-made pasta sauce and that works really well too, but I like to make it from canned tomato sauce and then I just add simple spices: salt, pepper, garlic, onion, Italian seasoning, and a little bit of sugar, and then I heat it up just to bring all the flavors together, and then I taste it and I just add more of whatever I think it needs. Whenever we make meatballs, we always make a huge batch because they are so good left over and we always eat them. So I use 4 pounds of ground beef, 2 eggs, and then if I had to guess, it was about 1.5 cups of Italian breadcrumbs. And I always do at least equal parts of Parmesan cheese, but I use the whole package because you can't overdo it on the Parmesan cheese. And then of course I use the same basic seasoning that I use in everything else: garlic powder, onion powder, Italian seasoning, salt, and pepper. And then I mix them up, and then I like to make my meatballs about the size of my palm. We really enjoy them this size, but you can make them whatever size you want. If I was making this for spaghetti and meatballs, I would probably make them smaller, but we're not big pasta people and we typically always eat them either on a sub or just plain. You're going to put all of your meatballs in the sauce, and then you're going to bring your sauce up to a boil. As soon as it's boiling, you want to turn it down to a low-medium heat, otherwise you might scorch the bottom of your pan. And then I let them simmer for about 35 to 40 minutes, and then I just take a meatball out and check it to make sure they're cooked all the way. We are loving the sourdough ciabatta bread. Now this wasn't my best batch of ciabatta, but it was still really good. But I think next time that I make meatballs, I want to try making a sourdough French bread or shaping the ciabatta better for meatball subs. I ended up cutting the meatballs in half here, which normally I don't have to. It wasn't a big deal. It didn't really change anything. I just want to try to make a different bread to see if I can make an even better meatball sub. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. If there is anything you want to see us try to make, leave it in the comments down below. We are willing to try making almost anything at least once. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.